here's my hood. I'm going to do a play-by-play. I'm attempting to repair it. It was fading, as most carbon fiber hoods tend to do if they're not clear coated. So I tried clear coating it, put on way too much clear in extreme temperatures, and it cracked like a mother. And I actually had to put a sander on it with 60 grit to really take it down a bit. So after I did some serious work, I realized I took it down just a bit too much in a couple spots with the 120 after I switched over. So I'm going to attempt to repair this spot here. You can see I sanded through just some of the carbon fiber, and then this spot right here, which honestly I'm not quite sure what I want to do. Like, you can still see some of the cracks. It looks like I have to do a bit more sanding, but that's actually the clear coat. So yeah, I'm gonna make multiple videos, piece them together, and in the end hopefully we'll have a nice clear glass-like finished product. Alright, now the first thing I've done here is lay down a piece of masking tape to kind of catch the fiberglass resin, and enable me to build a wall, so to speak, to build it up, because it's kind of got sanded down just a tad. I've got my replacement piece. You can see the edges are stitched together to keep it from falling apart. I'll cut that off before I lay it down in the puddle of fiberglass that I lay down here. Hopefully this goes well. It's already fucked up, so I can't imagine it'll get any worse. Let's see what happens. Alright, laid down some hardener. It's still wet. I'm just going to form it into place, and I'll drop the carbon fiber piece on top, apply some more hardener, let it cure, and take from there. Start sanding it, smooth it out. Hopefully all goes well. Stand by. And F it. There's another spot here which you can kind of see the clear behind it. So I'm gonna epoxy in a band-aid. I don't even care. It's fucked up. Might as well make it super. Yep, there's a band-aid all epoxied. Still a little bit wet. That'll dry. Then we got this mess over here with the carbon fiber in it. I'm not even super duper crazy concerned of how this all turns out in the end. I'm really just messing around, having fun. To be continued. Alright, here we go. Just about dry. It's actually still a little jelly-like. You can see the wall there that I said I kind of built it up now. It's still a little soft to the touch, so I'm going to take a razor blade and trim down a nice edge while I still can. It'll make sanding a whole hell of a lot easier, that's for sure. Band-aid. Send it. I don't even care. Okay, so I trimmed it down using an X-Acto. I trimmed the edge, but I made another boo-boo. It kind of pulled apart, so I mixed up a little bit more to fill in that little hole. Got it curing up. Once more, you can actually kind of see the carbon fiber through there now. I can see some dramatic imperfections, and that is the reason I chose to go with the Band-Aid, because you know what, if it's going to be right on top of the hood and I can't get it perfect, I'm going to make sure it's not perfect, and that's how I roll. So you can see I had a little bit left, so I filled in that little gap too. It'll make it easier for sanding and smoothing the lines for when it's final. As far as I'm concerned, this ain't going to be perfect, so I'm not even trying to take it to 600 or 800 grit for clear coat. I'm buffing. I'm gonna beat it up with some 120, and that'll be the end of it. It's already 120 all over the rest of the hood. So, like I said, I got a few more little hairline cracks that you can see in what's left of the clear coat, and you know, the rest is ready to go. All these spots here are the resin that's sanded down. I probably took it down just a little bit too far, but you know what, when this thing is soaking wet as it is right now, it looks phenomenal. So I'm fairly certain that's how it's going to look when the clear coat is on. And it's got a couple imperfections, but you know what, ain't nothing about this car perfect. It's my 93 Sentra SCR boosted. I built the engine. I'll do a quick little yeah baby, just a little T25. Got 264 wheel horse to the front wheels. There's still room for improvement. That's just a valve cover for better aeration throughout the system. It's not a VE engine. It's actually a Frankenstein DET block with a DE head, all completely, totally, entirely rebuilt by me in there, in my house, because I don't have a garage. So yeah baby, I just compounded her and polished her and waxed her about a week ago. You can't really see the shine, especially right now. She's covered in pollen, but yeah, the main focus is this hood. And as you can see, I like to paint stuff. I like to customize and DIY. So get it. Next video insertion will be this stuff sanded down and ready for paint. Stand by. Well, here we go, all sanded down. Band-aid is there. You can see the fuck-ups, which actually fucked up a little bit more, so I opted out of taking down these hairline scratches, cracks, these hairline cracks further. Fuck it, I don't care. Send it. It's all done. As far as I'm concerned, it's ready for clear coat. I'm gonna lay on now. This is still a little bit wet. Didn't even kind of come out good. So much for carbon fiber repair 101. There's a whole lot of just resin filler here, but that's the brakes, I guess. Maybe someday in the future, if I feel ambitious enough, I'll blast that off and put a band-aid over there too. But for right now, I'm done. I've had enough of messing with this damn thing, and I'm gonna spray it and call it a night. Yeah. Here's the finished product. It's actually cloudy. I'm thinking that's air bubbles, and this is gonna orange peel and turn to hell all over again. I suck. Big fail. My camera can't seem to focus in on this intricate pattern either. So that kind of sucks. But hopefully the wet sand will clean up this mess. I had high hopes. I think I went too heavy on the paint, too heavy on the clear. We'll see. I'll wet sand it, and hopefully something happens. So it looks a whole lot more like this. Camera won't focus on this pattern. Oh well, fuck my life, whatever, I don't care anymore. Comes down to it, I'll sand it again and have my buddy's dad paint it. But yep, that's about it for now. Looking like fucking hell. So let's see here now. A little bit of reading up I did last night says that the cloudiness that was in the paint was actually as a result of supposedly it was too humid. Might have been a mixture of being high humidity and it was too cold. So I can't win. First time it was too hot, now it's too cold, and the humidity, I checked the barometer, said it was actually at 95% humidity. So I guess that was my problem. The paint actually, it was this is a clear enamel, and it trapped the moisture in the clears that went down. So there's some techniques. Supposedly I can salvage it. I just wet sanded with 800. I'm about to wet sand again with 2000. I can't seem to find my 1500, so I'm just going to step it right up to 2000. And I actually have some 3000. I don't know if I'm going to use that. But if it's still cloudy when it's all said and done, potentially some compound and polish will clear it up, and if not, then I strip it and start over. All in the name of Band-Aid. Well, I do believe that the wet sanding definitely helped the cloudiness. Possibly the heat from the sun beating down on it too. I also read that some people get a cloudy effect with clear, and then the sun the next day just draws the moisture right out. So well, I'd sit here bake in the sun all day and probably the next few days, and I'm actually pretty happy with what I'm looking at right now. It's not perfect, even kind of, but you know what? I'm proud of the work I've done, and that's all there is to it. So last video is going to be after I compound and polish the hood and wax it, and then I shall upload this to YouTube and y'all can watch my progressive misery. Alright, here's a better look at the repair job. I don't know if it's even really visible. Yeah, there we go. It's alright. Whatever. There we go. Finished product. Done deal. You can kind of still see a little bit of the fogginess. It actually looks worse in the video than it does in person here, but everything's all compounded, polished, and waxed. The cloudiness seems to have cleared up for the majority. With the sun's passing days and the wet sand, and now this, I definitely could have, there's some spots that still can slightly feel some texture. Could have wet sanded maybe a little bit more. I might still do so in the future, but there she is. It's a much better looking finished product than it previously was. So I'm happy with it. Maybe someday I'll get aggravated and I'll do it all over again, but for now this looks pretty freaking good from what it was. Hope maybe you learned something, learned from my mistakes, and yeah, if you're gonna attempt carbon fiber repairs on your own, it's difficult, as you can see. Doable, I'm sure, but difficult. Just go with a Band-Aid.